Craig, Battlefield 3 Aftermath, it's multiplayer, but it's set after the single-player campaign section where there's the earthquake, is that right?
Absolutely. So Aftermath is our 4th expansion pack for Battlefield 3, and as you say, it's set after the single-player event. So our veteran players will know, and they'll know where this is coming from. So where our single player went in one direction, these are the soldiers who are still in Tehran. They're the ones who have risen from the ashes to continue the fight.
This one is a bit more like Karkan, more like classic Battlefield, is that right?
Yeah, it's when you're thinking about the size of the maps and what you can expect, back to Karkan would be a good reference point. So all the buildings have been ravaged by the earthquake. You'll see collapsed areas, collapsed buildings, broken balconies, fires streaming out of our buildings. There's a lot of crevices and cracks in the streets. And what this is really good for is it creates a tiered gameplay. So you think that players can be going through the bottom of the cracks in the streets, and they're at a different level to people on street level, who are on a different level to people in the buildings. So you really need to think about the vertical as well as the horizontal.
I have seen some new weapons in the game. One that came to mind, which I haven't seen before in any Battlefield game, is a Dirty Great crossbow.
Yeah, so we brought the crossbow. This is our new weapon in this pack, and we love it, to be perfectly honest. There's a couple of unique features about it. One is that it's not tied to a particular class. It doesn't replace your primary weapon. We've introduced it as a gadget. The other great thing about it is the variety of gameplay that it can bring. And we do this through our 4 bolts that you can add onto it. The first one is a standard bolt, and this is pretty much your bread and butter. It's mid-range, mid-damage, but the other 3 are quite specialized. So the next one is the scan bolt. You can fire this into a particular area and reveal proximity of enemies on the map. We then have an explosive bolt. We've actually strapped C4 to the end of it. This is great for taking out vehicles and blowing holes in walls. And then we have a balance bolt, which is great for long-range sniping. So what you'll find with this is the trajectory doesn't drop as much as the other bolts do.
Do you have vehicles in there as well?
So we have 3 new vehicles. On the US side, we have the Phoenix, which is a modified Humvee. On the Russian side, we have the Barsuk, which is a modified Vodnik. And for both sides, we have a modified civilian van, which we call the Rhino. But then, of course, in true Battlefield fashion, we've upped the ante. We've increased the firepower on the Phoenix and the Barsuk to 2 gunner positions, 1 heavy machine gun and 1 grenade launcher.
Now, in terms of assignments and achievements, do we have more of those with this expansion?
Yep, so we have 10 new assignments, also new dog tags, and we have 5 new achievements or trophies depending on your platform.
Any new ways to kill people close quarters?
There are some new ways, but this comes from our new mode, to be honest. So our new mode is Scavenger, and what's great about this is that you start all on a level playing field. So it doesn't matter if you've been a veteran for a year or if you've just started with Battlefield Premium, the Premium Edition. So you'll always spawn in with 1 handgun, 1 grenade, and 1 specialization. And from there, you need to explore the map. You need to find weapons within all the nooks and crannies and in the open areas. We have 3 levels of weapons, ranging 1 through 3. 1 is our lower weapons, like SMGs, and they're found in safe zones, generally outskirts of the map, where you can hide a little bit. If you want the biggest and the best, like the assault rifles and carbines, then you need to risk something. You need to go by the flags in the open areas. So we've created this risk versus reward gameplay. So because of the variety of weapons that you can find, I'd say this is a new take on Battlefield.
Craig, we've seen a lot of DLC. There's 1 more to come, isn't there?
Yeah, so we have Endgame coming in March of 2013.
And by the sounds of it, I guess that's the last piece of DLC for BF3?
Yes, this is our last planned piece of DLC. We can't really talk about it at the moment because it's still currently in development, but what I can say is that we're bringing motorbikes to BF3. And it actually has 2 positions on it, so you're a driver and a gunner to protect you.